There's no way that Mihawk has a connection to Emu. I'm thinking it's impossible because we're all thinking, all right, most likely he's more connected to Rayleigh, being possibly Rayleigh's son. I heavily support that. But seeing this, I'm just like, and I can't think of being a clone because that's just dumb. You make a clone of Emu and it's Mihawk, and you make a clone of Mihawk that's already cloned? Like, does that even make sense?
Now, Mihawk's getting more lore for just being connected to this person versus having his own actual story to tell. I don't like that. I like that as a development for Mihawk. So, like, when we get Shanks as a twin, it's emulating from the fact that Shanks is the guy. Okay. And these people are eating off of Shanks's lore.
There might be some connection here with Yoru. And I was thinking, what if Emu wielded Yoru at one point, blackened the blade, and then let go of the blade and gave it back to his kingdom as like a family heirloom or something like that? And he gave it up because he found the devil fruit.
Again, going to like Emu's power, because they keep on bringing out the black flames, and like that's what I'm saying. Like it kind of reminds me of a couple of things. A little bit of like about Nika's ability, the imagination thing, because we brought up like how versatile Emu's ability is. Like we see it later on, it becomes a sword, and not even that, it even increases his size. Yeah. Like Loki's even shot. He became giant, and all he did was say Omen. Like it's not actual name attacks. He just bringing out Omen. And Omen just does whatever he wants to Emu's manipulation or mindset. And that's what I was thinking, like, in a weird way, I think we bring up that Emu's power reminds you of a dark toon. Because even when I was seeing the fireball thing head, it reminded me of, again, another, not cartoon thing, but it reminded me of remember Mario? Those
the ball and chain?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those that has facial expressions and they're pretty much alive. I was getting if Luffy's supposed to be the light toon, good toon, they're kind of implying what Oda's doing, that Emu's the dark toon.
Dark toon.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. That's what vibes.
The Negajin!
I can't.
Lana, they're called Chain Chomps.
Chain Chomps, there we go. Because he literally does, I mean, that's later on.
You should have just started chomping, bro.
Imagine. We might see that. I don't know.
I'm saying you.
No, I'm playing. All right, I'm going to jump into
it, bro.
All right, see, or again, the Blade of Judgment Nemesis. I immediately did think, like, what? Like, I was like, I went back.
Mihawk and Emu.
I went back, bro. I'm thinking, he literally did the same thing to Luffy. I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, even though it's an unnamed or whatever, just a chronic thing that we saw him do to Luffy. Yeah. Like during Me for the War, like, it was just like, but he's almost doing the exact same thing, and the blade looks similar to Mihawk's.
Yeah, word, it does.
And it's black. Now I'm playing. And honestly, I'm just thinking, I don't think Oda's making links to Mihawk. But I just thought of, all right, you made a reference to Mihawk somewhat here. Again, that's coincidental, that's fine. But also just weirdly that Mihawk also has similar eyes to Emu. And I just thought it was also funny that what did Zolo say about Mihawk? Mihawk's less human than he is, right?
Yeah, he said that you seem more human than Mihawk, the person you're being after.
And it's funny because you have the Seraphim who's Mihawk, looks like a Lunarian, but he's saying that Mihawk is less human, and then just like, and you think of Emu right now, just like, that's funny you made a connection. Because I'm thinking like, there's no way that Mihawk has a connection to Emu. I'm thinking it's impossible because we're all thinking, all right, most likely he's more connected to Rayleigh, being possibly Rayleigh's son. I heavily support that. But seeing this, I'm just like, and I can't think of being a clone because that's just dumb. You make a clone of Emu and it's Mihawk, and you make a clone of Mihawk that's already cloned. Like, does that even make sense? Just like, you just made a baby Emu at this point, like with Mihawk. So just like, my mind was scrambling so much, like trying to make sense of it. But again, I'm not saying
everything that makes you great came out of a bottle.
Yeah, seriously. I was gonna bring up even the sword, and that question's all right. When did Mihawk get the sword? Do you think that? And I didn't believe it. Thinking, is it a possibility that Emu give Mihawk this sword for being like the world's greatest swordsman, or like did he take it or did he earn it? Because it goes into what I thought of a little bit. Because it goes into Mihawk's past. That I'm somewhat linking to Emu's a little bit too, but that's a little bit further on into what Emu says later on. But that's what I was thinking. But just like,
it's like being given the QB as a baby.
Again, it's just lore at this point. Just lore and like mysterious and mystery that we don't know.
The Omen ability continues to just allow him to do whatever. So it made me think of a couple things. Like they called Luffy's ability the most ridiculous. And he's basically, like you guys said, the dark tune. Like he's doing whatever he wants. I can heal people. I can make myself larger. I can fly. It does. All the things are possible now through Omen. And it's like, how is this not as ridiculous? I guess, I don't know, maybe.
Because it's the most rational. We went over this.
It's so rational, it's ridiculous. In regards to the attacks that he's been using, I think they're great. I also thought the chain chomps, like Lionel did, I thought that was really cool. I don't know if Oda's making that connection or not. I'm assuming he is a big Mario fan. I don't know why I'm assuming that, but Oda seems like the type.
Yeah.
It's good racism. I mean, because Super Mario is created in Japan. That's their thing.
Low key, if you check Luffy's Nika pose, it's Mario when he's like, it's Mario when he's doing
but he did have a cover story about
with him playing as Mario. Or
Smash
Smash Bros.
Not all racism is bad.
All right, bro.
I mean, in regards to the Nemesis attack, it's been running through the community, whether this is Mihawk upscale, whether there's a connection between Mihawk and Emu. I always tell y'all, Oda be wildin'. Emu's human. Whether he's not human in the general sense, but he's still human. And I used to make these jokes about Roger, and that Ace was probably not the only kid out there that Roger had. He was a pirate for a very long time, probably hooking up with a lot of women. Emu has had access to basically every woman he could possibly have access to. Hundreds of years now. Is it so beyond the pale that he had sex with some girl and had a kid? Like, I don't think that's ridiculous at all.
I'll take you.
I was saying.
Back is hurting a little bit.
I was saying.
I'll take her too.
I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's
Remember Rush Hour?
I don't think it's crazy. I know people don't like nepotism piece. I'm not a big nepotism piece guy myself. But if Mihawk is Emu's kid, like, I'm with that.
What about Karibo, bro? What's his name?
Caribou?
Caribou.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Because he has similar eyes like me.
I ain't even make up the eyes. I don't care about
Hey,
that.
man. You never know.
To me, Caribou's dad is Wang Ji, and I have a theory on that, whatever. But I will say this. My issue with that development, though, for Mihawk is that it's just as shallow as Mihawk fandom is in general. Because now Mihawk's getting more lore for just being connected to this person versus having his own actual story to tell. I don't like that. I like that as a development for Mihawk. So, like, when we get Shanks as a twin, it's emulating from the fact that Shanks is the guy. Okay. And these people are eating off of Shanks's lore, Shanks's story. They're a part of that. In this case, we get so little from Mihawk on the day-to-day, week-to-week, year-to-year, that it's now like, yo, to give Mihawk something, now I'm connected to Emu. Versus him just being this super dope, strong character himself.
You want him to have his own story.
Yeah.
And not be a part of someone else's.
Yes. Now, I get what you're saying. You're making it
I was thinking this the whole time he was talking. I was like, yeah, you're right.
It's different.
You're right.
It's very different.
No, we ain't got to go into it.
It's very different.
But I just want to say, you're right.
It's very different.
You're absolutely right, my brother.
It's very different.
Same thing I said.
Very different with Whitebeard. And I can point out the differences if y'all want. We don't have time for all that.
We don't need to. But I just wanted to point out what you were saying was correct.
It's very different. But the attack was cool. The fact that he can spawn this, like, this sword, essentially, that, like, stabs through Loki. Loki's, like, one of the more durable people in the series, seemingly. Like, he's stabbing right through a giant like this. And not an ancient giant, you know? Enough to make Loki even drop Ragnar. Like, it's I was gonna say his eyes turn back, but like, we don't see it. You know what I'm saying? But I really did like it. I like the choreography of the clash itself. Like, Emu clashes and then spins on top and then gets the Nemesis attack off. Like, he's using this agility that he seems to have. As far as Omen and the power, him saying it's his military might and, like, all power, a power that lurks within all things. We can get into it a little bit later because he kind of goes deeper into the thought process or talking track around that. But it did remind me of hockey immediately. And it's been going around about the community about the Maki, or like the Maleficent hockey. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not on the internet. I don't know that I would consider it a new power system, but people are calling it that. I feel like
it's not.
Dark hockey, the Dark Hado. Like, it's still Hado.
The Dark Hado.
You know what I'm saying? It's still Hado. I mean,
and like, it's physically black.
I mean,
it's going to get blacker.
Well, hockey's technically invisible. Hoda makes it black for us.
You know what's crazy? The Dark Hado isn't that far off from what hockey is anyway. I'm going to be honest.
I know.
We've only seen 2 characters in the entire series leap onto their blades like that to attack somebody.
I know you love that. You bring it up all the time.
I do. Because I hate it. Emu here against Loki and Mihawk against Gear 2 Luffy
all
at
4
Marine 4. One landed. One missed. Okay? One missed. One landed. So yeah, Mihawk down skill confirmed. I'm joking, kind of. But seriously, Imu's Blade of Judgment Nemesis is fascinating. And what really caught my attention was how much the weapon resembled Yoru. So it led me to the possibilities that Lionel was speaking about, how there might be some connection here with Yoru. And I was thinking, what if Imu wielded Yoru at one point, blackened the blade, and then let go of the blade and gave it back to his kingdom as like a family heirloom or something like that. And he gave it up because he found the devil fruit.
So Yoru would have been passed down from like Nerona family to Nerona family, like generation to generation. And like Mihawk would be like a Nerona Mihawk or Mihawk Nerona.
Well, yes. And the reason being is because what was Mihawk's moniker before he became a Shichibukai?
Marine Hunter.
Yes.
The Hawkeye?
Right. And then Zoro, his name was what?
Pirate Hunter.
Right. So when Zoro receives his black sword, Shisui, who wielded it at one point?
Ryuma.
And who's that to him?
His ancestor.
Right. So if there are similarities, what's to stop Mihawk from also following that same path?
I just don't like the idea that Mihawk didn't blacken his blade.
No,
that's my only. I'm fine with the Yoru once being Emus. If Mihawk didn't blacken his blade, like toss the whole character out.
I don't know if you added this to it, Larry, and sorry if you did, and I kind of like beat you to it. But as I thought of what you said by doing that,
Well,
did you notice? What is Emu wielding right now?
wielding, I forgot what it's called, but it's like I forgot what it's called though. I
Yeah.
know what you're talking.
If he also had Mihawk's sword, what do we see Nika always wielding?
Sword and a spear.
A sword and a spear.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me think, the hacks of both of y'all had like a sword and a spear type thing.
yeah.
The dark tune versus the light tune, or tune of light, sun tune, I guess. And they both fighting with a sword and a spear in hand. And that's crazy.
To me, I feel like Oda's just trying to show, yo, Emu's so nice, he could casually whip out Mihawk level attacks. As if it's just like, I add this to my bag out of whim. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, even the world's strongest swordsman, it's just a piece of my kit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's supposed to be when I was reading this.
Yeah, I wasn't reading it that way.
I was reading it that way.
That's kind of disrespectful, actually.
I thought of like, for example, it's like he can make any weapon useful to him.
Right.
Like he can make a sword, he can make a spear, he can make
A gun.
an explosion, bombs, like anything's in his arsenal with his Omi thing. He has any weapon disposed to him.
And that's why he dropped Yoru. Because if anything, the sword itself was limiting his power.
He just didn't want to be in all them online debates, man. He didn't want people scaling him and limiting him like that.
So I was like, yo, I can see this kind of connecting. But I do agree with Lionel. I think that Rayleigh and Shaki might have birthed Mihawk at one. I don't know. There's not much proof, but it seems like there's enough. But I do like the similarities of these swords being passed down hundreds of years, and maybe Mihawk just randomly found it the same way this dude Zoro found it.
He tossed Yoru up.
Yeah.
Nah, that was the other one.
I do have a little bit more on this because of somebody we used to know. They made a theory regarding Shanks and Mihawk and how Mihawk could have been a part of Shanks' crew.
I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to save that for the second part because I think it's in the second part. But it ties into this theory as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, bro, this is kind of crazy.